y'all. It's your girl Maya.
Kayleen.
And I'm Nikki.
It's Gay Life Times 3. And today is all about blended families and all the craziness and the roller coasters and the love that comes with it. So get your snacks, go ahead and grab your drinks, and let's get to it. I had an actual dope ass weekend this past weekend. I went hiking and yes, it was so much fun. Ooh, I almost took you all over. It was so much fun. It was Adonis's first really big outside outing. And he had so much fun. He was kicking his legs and smiling.
I saw that was so cute.
We went into the cave that was there and we started yelling and he started mimicking us. So he was sitting there. I was like, he's having fun.
That's cute.
He enjoyed himself so much. It was a really good weekend. And then Sunday, I cleaned like crazy. And then I crashed on Monday. I crashed. Oh my gosh, I crashed. I was like, I can't. But I still did my workouts. I'm getting there. I'm working on this postpartum body of mine. And
is that your goal now? That's what you started doing, is working out every day?
Yes, I plan on just getting myself organized. I want to get my life in. I'm really good with schedules. If I have a schedule, I know what to do with myself. And I know there's moments for me to chill, but there's moments where, okay, I need to get this done. And then once I get this done, then I can get back to just relaxing. So I made myself a whole schedule. Thank you.
That's good. Send some of that motivation over here, please.
For real. I need some of that motivation too.
Yeah.
Well, how was your guys' weekend? What were you guys up to?
You can go ahead, Nikki.
Well, this weekend was, what did I do this weekend? Oh, I worked. I worked a double on Saturday, but turned out to only work for an hour and a half because they were so dead. So I gave up my second shift and went to my sister's house and we had a family game night, which was pretty fun. We did karaoke. And then I decided to do one of on my Snapchat, I do a lot of crazy drinks on there. So I just decided to do some THC/alcohol infused drinks for tomorrow, which is my half birthday. 420. But I went ahead and did that, and I had a great weekend until today. I lost my wallet, but I'm gonna take that L. I'm praying and hoping that whoever found that wallet needed it way more than I did, because I swear to God, I'm just gonna take that L. I'm gonna win real big in Vegas. Watch, that's just gonna make up for it 10 times more.
Yeah. Positive vibe.
That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm just doing that. Been chilling. Other than that, well, how was your weekend?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've been so exhausted and stressed out. I've been working third shift, going to school, and then I'm on my last month of school. So it's been exams and studying and practicals, and it's just been crazy. And then in between both of them, working my second job at the salon, plus being mom and the kids and soccer, and it's been a lot. But I just keep telling myself okay, one more month of school. But yeah, I know I have to have my husband give me a pep talk to make my ass get up and go to school.
We're going to celebrate when I come up, because I come up right after you graduate.
I'll be done by then. So yes, definitely.
And you guys, that's going to be our first K Live together video. So stay tuned for that. All together. I move in that month. I move in the day before Mariah comes back. Then Kay graduates and Mariah's coming here to celebrate my godson's first birthday. There's so much to celebrate that month. So much.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. We'll take you guys along with all the shots that we take.
Oh, yeah. You get to see us all uncensored and wild.
Yep. The behind the scenes.
You get to see how Kayleen bullies me into getting really wasted.
No.
I'm going to help.
Yeah.
I'm going to help.
Well, with that being said, let's jump into today's topic about blended families. I have two separate questions, one for Nikki, one for Maya. And Nikki, let's start off with you. I know how long have you been a bonus mama?
Going on a year.
A year? Okay.
Yep.
So then my question is, has it been difficult stepping into that role and making a bond with your stepdaughter?
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very difficult. In the beginning, it wasn't, because obviously we were both just trying to like each other, and we didn't really live together, So our goal was just like, we always bonded over beauty when it came to makeup and hair. That was our thing. When I met her mama don't know lack of makeup at all. We went to the dollar store, right? And she goes, I used to use this glitter. I'm like, ratchet. Like,
we're gonna upgrade that.
And I was like, no wonder when I first met my daughter, I actually just have I did a glow up picture or video a few days ago. She looked so young, and she had thick eyeliner because she didn't know how to put it on. And then her aunt passed away, and we had her funeral this past Thursday. And I was just admiring how beautiful my daughter is. And I was
Her
like,
makeup was on fleek.
yeah, she has like the little tiny wings, like you can barely see it, her lashes, because now she's into individual lashes. So I had to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not paying $70. If I don't do it for me, I'm not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I know how to do them. Come on, sit down. I used the Kiss brand on her. But in the beginning, like, that's all we bonded in. And once we moved in together, I'm more strict than my fiance is. Like, you have to earn it. You have to, like, I'm real big with respect and don't talk back. I'm a Hispanic girl that grew up in a Hispanic household.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter grew up in American household. And it's like I tell her, she's the one that's gonna be fighting her mama. I'm fighting you back.
Yeah.
Right.
So like I said, in our last video, I said it like it has been very difficult because we were through a rough patch. But right now we've been good since then. Like I felt that video really helped us a lot with communicating and all that. Yeah, you know that little Abby girl she was talking about?
Yeah.
Her bully?
She
finally fought her.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, she got her ass beat.
Yeah, she did.
And
that girl swung first. And then once that girl swung at my daughter first, she's like, that was the only leg I went. And then I was like, you're not grounded. We're going out to eat, girl.
Right.
But she was like,
you can get a dessert today.
Yeah, right. We were just at home, and then I took her to school. She got to go back to school on yesterday.
Okay.
She went back, and girl, when I tell you, when I picked her up, there was just one friend, Carly, which is always there. That's her number one friend. She was there, and there's a whole group of girls. I walk out like, excuse me, what is this about?
Right.
Oh no, mom. I said, I have one child. What's going on here? And then they're like, no, Mariana, she got her good. It's about time. She's no longer going to be a bully. I'm like, we'll see. She comes back tomorrow. She comes back tomorrow. So let's see what I hear about that.
Oh.
Yeah. But other than that, like she called me right away before I think she would have been a little bit more hesitant. But she called me right away and told me all about it. And because like you guys told me, don't judge her right away and like jump on her. I listened to her and then I understood where she was coming from. And we've been great ever since. She like now does family time on her own instead of us making her. She was just here laying down in the room. Even if she's tired, she just wants to be in our room. And I'm like, go to the room, go to sleep because I have to do my video.
Yeah.
Not to promote violence. Just make sure she goes to school with her hair braided tomorrow.
No, I don't promote violence, but I do finish it.
Period. I'm just saying, my dad always said, hope for the best, for the worst. So
yeah.
just
I highly doubt this girl's gonna touch her though, because she got police contact, and if she touches Mariana, she gets expelled. So.
Oh, because she went to swing first, yeah.
But she's been bullying Mariana. So Mariana has been telling the guidance counselors for a while. So the reason why we noticed was Babe was getting her tattoo done, and I was getting an oil change for the car. So then we both got an email says that Mariana was marked absent from her class. So then I'm like, oh, this girl's skipping. And Taylor thought the same thing. Taylor was like, wait a minute. So she calls the school and the principal's like, oh, we were meaning to call you. She's being detained right now. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, she got into a fight, but she's okay. It wasn't her. She just finished the fight, as they say.
Oh, well.
And I'm like, and then we said Abby, and he's like, exactly. I'm like, all right, what do we need to do? And my mother-in-law went to go pick her up because we were both busy. And she didn't have nothing on her face. I was like,
good job.
The proud mama, cover your face and just swing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm happy because I know it can be hard. Yeah. At least from, the emotions and feelings that I hear from my husband stepping in and being a stepdad. Like, I know it can be a roller coaster.
Oh, yes.
But that's good. That's good.
It hurts sometimes too, because sometimes they say some stuff and I'm just like, don't take it personal, but it is hard. And it's nice that you guys can hear from the bonus mom, and now I can hear from you guys how you guys feel towards the other way around. So go ahead.
And I think it makes it a little harder because you met her when she was older, right? 10, 9.
Yeah.
10 and a half.
So I feel like preteen area, like smart ass mouth and stuff. So I
told Nikki, you're a trooper. You came in at the most like roughest age, bro. But when I tell you I'm there whenever she calls me, Maya, she did this, I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, this is how you do this. And if she gets mad, she gonna say this, this, and this. But you just gonna look at her and be like, okay, I love you. You talk to me later.
I'm like, but I can't punch her.
You know what? See, like I said, I don't promote violence, but
big butt. Oh my gosh. All right, Maya. My question for you. I know your husband's been there for the longest freaking time. And he was there when your first was a baby, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so long.
Like literally, my mom called him and was on the phone with him the whole entire time. I was in labor. And then,
so he was there.
Yes. And then he showed up and he came every single day. Even when she was in the NICU, he came to the NICU with me.
Oh my gosh. That's a number one dad right there. I know.
Excuse me.
So my question is, like, were you nervous, I guess, having somebody that's not her biological dad step in? Because she calls him dad, right?
On her own too.
Okay.
I never.
So were you like hesitant about that? Like explaining that to her? How did that transpire in a sense when she got a little bit older and understood?
So actually, like there was a situation that I can tell you how she found out. Ricky had, like I said, been there since day one. Like when I was pregnant, we were not together. I chose to be single throughout my pregnancy and after I had my daughter because I felt like I needed to focus on her. I was so young and I felt like I knew I could not separate like focusing on keeping myself healthy and dealing with boy drama. Like I didn't need that. And I was already going through it with her father, her biological father, her donor. So I was going through things with him and he was doing his things, spreading rumors about me. And it was just a choice that I made to be by myself. And Ricky chose to understand that. And instead of forcing a relationship, he offered a friendship. And he was there. And whenever I had a craving, like he was there. He Yes, he took care of me. And after I had Jody too, like he would bring over diapers for her and make sure she was okay. And I think when Jody was about, yeah, Jody was about 5 months old when we got back together, like we got together again.
Okay.
And he was inseparable from her. Like that was her daddy from the moment like I have a picture from the day he came back and he sat down and he held her and she just like looked at him and they're smiling at each other. It was the most cutest thing ever. I
I'm gonna
was like,
cry.
that is so cute. And he he was always there for her. Like there was no question on if he loved Yaritza. Like, of course that man loves her. Like he adored her. Like that was his. He told her to go punch me. She came and knocked me in the back of my head. Okay,
I'm just
like
saying, I'm Team Ricky Rar all day.
and so is Yaritza. Like she loves her daddy. And I remember one day him coming into the house from work, and we didn't live together. I lived with my parents. I was 18 at the time, and he was 19. We weren't old enough to like, mentally old enough to move out.
Yeah.
So he came over and she seen him and just started crawling super fast, and all you heard was daddy.
Oh
And
my
the house
God.
got quiet because we never ever told her, hey, go to daddy. We all said, here's Ricky, go to Ricky. Ricky wants you. Oh, look
Okay.
who's here. Ricky's here. Like we never said, here's daddy. Like she just did that. So she always, from day one, that was her daddy. She chose him, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh.
And then when I got pregnant with my son, her father decided he wanted to come back in the picture. Reasonings I don't feel like explaining because it does not need to, I don't care to give any type of air to that. But he decided to come in the picture. And I said, okay, fine, we can meet up places because she does not know who you are. I'm not going to just give her off to you. And my daughter's never been without me. Like I spend the night with her when she goes and spends the night with my mom. At this time, me and Ricky had already moved out into our own place.
Okay.
So we decided one night we were going to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and she had seen him a couple of times, but she kept calling him Theo.
Okay.
And he asked me, he was like, "Are you going to correct her?" No, that's not my job. That is not my job. Because whenever he would, like, we had to go through like a guardian ad litem or whatever,
Yeah.
and she was, because Ricky would come. But Jody loved him so much that she would be like, Daddy, look at this, and Daddy, look at me, and Daddy, come here, and Daddy, look at me, do this. And the first time we ever went and met up with him, it was at McDonald's at the time I was working there, and they had this playground there. So I was like, we'll play inside there, she can eat, and you can meet her there. And the whole time she was like, oh, hi. And then she looked at Ricky through the glass. He wasn't even in the game room, and she kept screaming to him, Daddy, 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 look at me. And just screamed to him and all this other stuff. And so he complained about that to the guardian ad litem. So she's like, why don't you try it with just you guys? So I was like, that's fine. She kept calling him Theo, 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 Theo. So he was like, are you going to correct that? I was like, no, if you feel like you have that need to correct it, you go ahead and you do so. But I don't feel like that's my job. You were not there. You chose to do what you did. So now it's your choice to make that bond. That is not on me. I tried my damnedest to have you be there. You fought me on it. Now you got to work on it. So he decided to, tell her. And he told her in the nicest way he could have. Anyone could have. You know what I'm saying? To a 3-year-old. And yeah, she was 3 years old when he came back. And he told her whatever. She looked at me, grabbed my shirt and pulled me towards her and started crying profusely, saying, no, I want my real daddy. Where's my real daddy? And then he waits for us to leave. And when Ricky pulls up, he walks out at the same time as us. Jody looked at him and looked at Ricky and started crying again and said, no, you're my real daddy. And jumped in the front seat with him. And
Aww.
my heart
Oh
broke. I was like,
yeah.
I don't even know how to. I don't know what to do.
Deal with that situation.
Yeah, like that's not on me, that's on you. And
Yeah.
till today, like he chooses not to be a part of her because she does not care for his wife and she does not feel comfortable being alone with him. So she requests that if she does be around him, that I am present. And because he does not want to be around me or my family, as if my family ever did anything to him, no matter how bad they wanted to, they never did because I was the father of my child.
Mm-hmm.
He chose to just not have any contact with Yetis at all and erase her from all social media. There's no trace of my daughter being a part of his life on any type of platform he has. And
What?
it's sad. It's sad because Jody has seen it herself and I didn't do nothing. My daughter has her phone. So she
Yeah.
goes looking for things and she sees it and she's like, okay, well, you know, she told me, she goes, I can't wait for the day I get to be Yeritza Silva Diaz and take away the other name because I'm tired of this. He's not my dad. I have my dad here. These are words that are coming out of her own mouth, things that she said to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the last time she talked to him was about 3 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there was no explaining the difference between them two. It was really sad how she found out, but it wasn't traumatizing to her because we did it in the most nicest way. There was no arguments, nothing, but we sat down and we told Jody, you know, no matter what, you're daddy's baby. Like Ricky's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're mine, no matter what. I don't care what you say to me, like you are mine.
Mm-hmm.
And they could get into it and she could say the most meanest things and he's like, whatever, you'll love me later. And she legit loves him 2 seconds later. Daddy, do you need something? Do you want me to make you something to eat? Are you hungry? Like, girl, you just yelled at him and now you want to be all
Right.
cute. Like, stop it. And Ricky just
So
looks at her.
I have a question then. How did Ricky feel or react when her biological dad wanted to come back in the picture?
Broke his heart. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm about to cry. It broke his heart. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. He just looked at me and he was like, she's going to feel different towards me. And it
Oh,
did. Her relationship with Ricky did change when he started coming around because a lot of things, like he would talk down on me to her and things like he would tell her that Ricky wasn't her dad, stop calling him that. And you know, like me and Ricky would go through our issues and he'd be like, well, I want her to stop calling him dad. Like, no, you
yeah.
don't get a say on that. Like that man was there when you weren't. That man
Yeah.
was there for every milestone she's ever been through. You don't get to have any say on her relationship when it comes to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt some type of way about that. And I think that's what made him kind of like get mad at me. But I no matter what happens between me and Ricky, we're amazing now. But back then we were so up and down, like our relationship was so not steady because we were
Mm-hmm.
so young.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we got together so young. Like I was with that man on and off since I was 15 years old. So he was all I knew, and I wanted to, you know, there's times where I want to see different things. Like, what it would be like
Yeah.
to be with so and so and so and so, you know, and we had our moments and he tried to like in those moments kind of mess with the relationship that she had with Ricky and I didn't like that. And Ricky, he knew that was gonna happen. He knew it.
Yeah.
He called it and he was like, it's gonna change. And it hurt him. It really did. Like when she would leave for the weekend, he would get so sad. But then when she would come back, dude, I would have to like calm down, bro. We don't have that much money. You is doing too much, and that's why she is so spoiled now. Who wants to blame me? But no, he would be like, I just want to go here with her and here with her. We didn't get to do this weekend with her, so we're gonna do it
Oh.
now. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she still looked at him as, oh, that's just a fun person that I get to see because whenever he would switch up his girlfriends, he disappeared. Or whenever his girlfriends had an issue with me, he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no thinking about your child's feelings. It was always, if me and him weren't in a good situation, then it was no good situation between him and his daughter.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, the things that my baby has told me that has happened over there, no, you're not getting my kid alone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I throw hands. I ask questions later, throw hands first. And we all know this. He knows this. And everybody that has ever dealt with Robert knows this. Oh, I said his name. I hope.
There's a million Roberts out there.
Yeah. Anyways, hymns. What anyways, yeah. So I just it broke his heart. It really hurt him. It hurt him bad. But him and Jody, you should see them. I love it. They're so cute, especially when they
I love how he wants to be active. Like, even after all these years and her biological dad being in and out, like, I love how his love for her has not changed. And I love
yes.
how active he still wants to be in her life, and, you know, through all of that.
Yep.
Girl, let me tell you, we just found out some things about our baby, and that man laid in this bed with tears streaming. He had his eyes closed. He was just laying there with tears just, and he's breathing. We fell asleep like that. I was like profusely crying. I'm a big ass baby when it comes to my babies. So I profusely cried myself to sleep. And we took a 3-hour nap. That's how bad we cried ourselves to sleep, okay? It broke our heart to know our baby is no longer our baby. Like, she's doing too much
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
She's doing way too much.
Chill the fuck
Like,
out.
right, ma'am. Relax. You're only 11.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love how much he loves her, and I love how much she adores him. It's cute. I just sit back and watch them. They have such a sarcastic relationship. It's so funny. They just talk crap, but then they look at each other and smile, and it's like, you guys are shut up.
Oh,
I have a question.
awesome. Yes.
So, me being the bonus mom and not actually the birth giver, how do you guys feel like, what were your like don't cross the line kind of deal, like kind of rules, I guess you could say, when it came to your other spouse, to your other half?
I think punishment was a big up and down misunderstanding and stuff, because like, out of the parents, like, I'm more lenient, I guess. I'll say. And then my husband was in the military, so he's just, no, it goes this and that way, and if you don't follow that, like, you're getting in trouble. So
Right.
I feel like me and him bumped heads a lot when it came to raising Leah. And I think it confused her too, because like, I would say one thing, he would say one thing. So it took us to sit down as adults, as parents, and be like, okay, this is how we're going to parent. This is how we're going to deal with certain situations. And, you know, we need a tag team in a sense and not be on two different pages.
Okay.
Because she would play the shit out of us, you know, like when the kids like,
Yes.
oh, but mom said this, and I wouldn't even be
Oh,
home.
that's what's happening to me.
Yes.
I'll tell you my story after, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I would say making decisions on punishment was like a big like arguing moment for us. And I mean, this was his first time being a dad figure too, so I think he didn't know how to approach. He kind of just went with, because he was a sergeant in the military, so I guess, you know, this is how I treat these military men. I'm gonna go in and treat everybody like that. I don't know what his mindset was, but I was like, you're not in the military anymore. This is a child. I think he came in the picture when she was like 7.5 or 7. So I was like, you need to tone it down a lot, and I will show you the ropes.
Right. Oh, that's man, that whole situation when it comes to discipline, that's hard. That's
Mhm.
real hard because you also got to look at how he was raised and then how you were raised. And then you
Yeah.
already made up your mind about how you know you're not going to do certain things with your kids because it didn't work with you, so you know it's not going to work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I can like I feel that so much. Like that's a iffy situation with me and Ricky because
Okay.
he he's so stern, you know what I'm saying? And I'm that laid back, like I know what it's like to be 11, 12 years old. I know what it's like
Yeah.
to have my first crush and and I constantly have to remind my husband, like, bro, remember the first time you had a girlfriend? Remember the first time you had a kiss? Let's not talk. Let, let,
Mhm.
let's
See
let's
what
let's calm down, sir.
See, I think I'm the opposite. So I'm Puerto Rican. My whole family's Puerto Rican. So my mom was strict on me, like super strict on me. And then I was raised in a white neighborhood, white city. Uh, and then
Bless you.
Sterling, Sterling was in a like stricter, like Catholic. You do this, and that. You're
Mm.
going to church every other day, you know.
right.
Um,
Ooh.
but I feel like since I know what it feels like to, in a sense, have a little bit more freedom with friends and stuff, I'm strict when it comes to Leah. I don't want her to have that type of freedom with friends and explore or experiment. And he's the opposite. He's like, no, like, if she's gonna do this, and that, I'd rather me do it with her instead of her being out there, and I'm like,
Yes.
no.
I agree with Sterling on this situation, like, because I grew up in a very Pentecostal, old school Puerto Rican Black household.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't allowed to do nothing to a point where I didn't even ask to do nothing because I knew it was a no. So there was no point. And no one invited me because they knew I would be like, you gonna ask him? You gonna
I'm
ask
not.
him?
Yeah. See,
Mm-mm.
and that's where like I get a little confused from because like right now I'm in between both of you guys, my mom didn't care what I did. I was partying every time I was with my mom, but once my aunt had custody of me, she's a pastor of a Methodist church, okay? So just like
Oh.
Pentecostal, just a little bit more. So I grew up, you have to do Wednesday is communion, then you have to do the youth group on Thursday, then on Friday you're
Mm-hmm.
doing ayuno, then on Saturday you're going to chorus practice, and on Sunday you're doing this. And then when I go to my mama's house, I don't want to see you. So then I'm kicking it in the streets. So I didn't know what
Yeah.
the hell. So then I'm going like through both of them, and I'm just like, I don't want her to go through what I went through, but I do want her to explore too. And just
Mm-hmm.
like Sterling, I'd rather her do it with me than to do it out in the streets. But Taylor's a little bit more
Exactly.
lenient when it comes to that. And like me, I'd rather your friends come over to my house. I'm just
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, just have your friends come over. And Taylor's like, I'm tired of her friends here. So like today, she's like, "Oh, can two of my friends come over?" And then she asked Taylor first, and Taylor said, "No, you go to your friend's house." So then
Yeah.
she asked me, and she's like, "Mom, can they these two come over?" And I said, "What did your mom say?" She's like, "No, go to their house." I said, "So why are you trying to ask me then? Like, if your mom already gave you an answer, why are you trying to go around?"
See?
Like that's the whole situation. Like, Miss Ma'am, we communicate, we text each other. If you share our screen time, it's just me and mom. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Jotty be doing the same thing. She'll do one of these. Oh, mommy said da 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 da, and I'll hear her. I'll walk out. Mommy said what? What did I
No,
say? And her
Mariana
face
got
will
smart.
get.
She'll text it. She will text it.
Oh no, my daughter. She will say. She will look me dead in my eyes and be like, "Yes, you did. You said it."
Lies.
No, I did
Daddy.
not. Like, girl, like if you're gonna lie, lie about someone else to me. Don't lie about me to me. Like,
Right.
what are you doing? Like, that don't make
Wrong
no
one.
sense. Right.
I feel like whether you're biological or a bonus parent, that is always gonna be a struggle. So don't feel like, don't overstress yourself. Don't feel like you're just the only one going through that, because every parent will continue to deal with that until they're 18 or longer, if anything.
Because I feel like chooses to discipline differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't think you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
Unless you're abusing them, then I would say no.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't put my hand on her, even though I threaten her all the time. So I'm about to whoop that. I wouldn't. I will call Taylor, but that's like another thing. That's why I also asked, is because like one day she was just sick, and I texted Taylor, and I'm like, Mariana's like really sick. She's like, babe, if you feel like she can't go to school and she's not faking it, then you can go ahead and keep her home. And I was like, okay. So that's what I'm just like, what kind of rules did you have and stuff like that? So I kind of have to like learn the ropes a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kitty.
I think as she grows, your rules, your parenting are going to change always.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, it's a learning experience for the rest of
it. It definitely is, because I got my mom voice by yelling at my old dog Midnight. Okay. And that's Mariah taught me how to do that. And now I hear my mom voice to a human. I always say I got her on Alpha Amazon because she was already grown when I got her.
Yeah. Yes, that's like that movie Robots. You just get different parts every year.
Yeah.
But no, for like me and Ricky, when we got together, like my absolute like thing was, because I was with Jody by myself for 5 months. You know, there was a moment where he was in another relationship, and she did not like him being around me, but Ricky didn't care. So when he still came over and was around Jody and wanted to beat up Jody's ass. So I told him, like, when we got together, until today, like, sometimes I have to remind him. Remember what I told you I promised her and myself when she was born? Nobody will ever make me do anything to her that I don't feel is okay for her. I will guide her in the best way possible that I feel is fit. And because I'm not that. People look at me and I'm the villain. Woo, I'm the villain. You sorry. I apologize. That was probably a long time ago and in high school. So I apologize. Okay. But the way my parents raised me, I had a really good childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I take a lot from the way my parents raised me. And I look at the things that they kind of did that didn't work with me, and I try it out with Jody. And like Kayleen said, it changes because there's certain things that I realized didn't work. Like, she has a special friend. I was telling her.
Look at how she said that.
I don't like it.
I try to stay serious. I try.
Us that away from her and telling her you're not allowed to have your special friend is gonna make her want it even more. Yeah. So I rather say, look, he is a special friend. And I will thank my mother-in-law Lexi for that name, because I was like, I like that. He's not the B friend. He is the special friend.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't even say it when it comes in contact with her. And that's what we cried ourselves to sleep about the other day, by the way. And like he really understood what I meant by, I don't want to do anything to push her into doing something that will make her regret. Not saying that my daughter is a regret, because I love her. But if I could have waited, I know for a fact that I would have been in med school right now, because that's where I was going. I had already got accepted into UW-Madison. So I was ready to go. With my daughter. So I don't want her to make the same decisions. I'm not going to call her a mistake because she is.
Right.
The same decisions that I made that altered my life so soon. I want her to be prepared for that. I want her to go to France. She wants to be a fashion designer, you guys, which makes me really happy because she be making these cute little purses and stuff. Like, I'll show you guys one day. It's so cute. I want her to, live her dream. I want her to be out there. And Ricky understood what I meant by I don't want to push her into that. So he literally said, because we found out Friday before Easter Sunday. So he was like, I am not going to speak to our daughter about this situation until Monday because I don't want to ruin anybody's weekend. And I feel like I will probably have a lot nicer, or not nicer, but calmer things and not so mean things to say. Because, my dad told her straight up, if you were my kid, I'd be tearing that ass up. Like, you lucky you are not my daughter and you're just my granddaughter. But, I have to let your mother parent you whichever way she feels fit. And Ricky, he didn't know what to do. But we told her, he could be a special friend. And we would like to meet him and his mama. Because apparently she knows.
Oh.
So, ma'am. And he's older than her.
Don't go in with that mindset. Don't go in with that mindset.
He's older than her. So, like, that even, like, bothers Ricky a little bit more because, like, he's about to turn 13. So he's like, he's a teenager. And I'm just like, babe, you're a year older than me. Calm down. And then she's like, yeah, you're older. He's like, We were 15 and 16 years old.
She be saying her 2 cents like, Johnny. I'd be on the phone and I'd be like, cállate la boca. Shut up.
Too much.
Johnny, we don't need that right now. Or when, like, I try to talk louder. Mariah, did you? My pickle just fell.
Yeah. And then I completely ignore Johnny. And I'm like, anyways, what happened? But yeah, no, like, that was our biggest thing. Like, the whole, like, understand that I want to raise Jody a certain way, and I want to raise all my children the same way. All my kids are freaking spoiled. I'm sorry. It's just the way I was raised. I'm the youngest, and my parents, they devoted their time to me, so I make sure to devote my time to my kids. And
which is good. It's good because I think being active in their life, like, not just mom life, but with sports and everything. Like, me personally, I played sports all throughout middle school, high school, and my mom was a single mom, so she was always working and wasn't able to be there. So now that my daughter, she did dance for 6 years and she's in soccer now, like, I make sure I'm at her practices. I make sure I'm at her games, and we're doing extra things to make her better. Because I told her, I'm putting all this money into soccer. You better get a scholarship and you're going to end up playing professional down the line. Or you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be something, like, I don't need you getting sidetracked by boys. I don't need you getting sidetracked by any other crap, because I've seen it with friends now that are parents and stuff, and it's like, I want the best, like, emotionally, physically, future wise for my kids. And, like, some people look at me like, you cannot determine what their life is gonna be like, and it's like,
excuse me, we can build a structure and make sure it goes down the right path.
Yeah.
It's our job.
Yeah.
I could try to make sure my baby has the best life possible. Okay. And so can Kaylee. And so can Nikki. Don't try.
Oh my God. Okay, so I have a question. Nikki, I know you said you guys are talking or planning on having a baby, right? Okay, so my question is, do you feel like, or do you think you would treat differently, like, sorry, Maya, like, do you think Ricky treats Jody differently because she might not be biologically than your other two? Or do you think he does a good job?
I honestly think my husband is the most non-biased, grumpy ass man that's ever lived possible, because let me tell you, his mouth is rated E for everybody, including me. I'm like, bro, I'm not your kid. Ain't it that
She
way?
said mouth is rated E for everybody. Shut
Go
up.
that way. Go that way. Because that was everybody's biggest fear when I got pregnant with Ezekiel. Like, they were like, oh, he's going to be different with Jody, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't think so, because he's been there since day one. And
Okay.
there was no change. The change happened when she started seeing her biological father. And she started acting weird with Ricky because her biological father told her to do so.
Okay.
So that, a little attitude, and they'll have little arguments, but let me tell you, just as quick as she can get snapped off on, so can Ezekiel.
Yeah.
See, I can answer like a different type of way.
Yeah.
So Mariana, she's already old enough, and we sat her down before we even decided a decision or whatever. And she thought the same thing. She's like, well, you're going to treat me differently and this and that. And I had to sit her down and tell her, I will never treat you differently because, first of all, even though you didn't come out of me, you taught me everything I know. And second of all, I was treated differently from my stepfather in the beginning. We can still say till this day, sorry if you're watching, but I know how it is. I'm the only one that has a different dad. So obviously, like, if I need something, for example, with my divorce, I was so surprised that he even like jumped to help me as quick as he did. But throughout all that, my sister, which is his biological daughter, he's been with me since I was, I believe, 2, my mom said. And then they had my sister when I was 5, and my life totally changed. Like, it was so different. I would get in trouble for the stuff she would do. And like, I got treated really differently. And it was well known by his family that I wasn't part of his family, you know? So I did get treated differently. As I told her, I would never make you feel the way I got treated. Like, to this day, like, I call him dad, you know, like, if I need something, he'll be there. But as a bond and stuff like that, we don't really have it. And like, for example, this wedding that I'm going to have, normally the dad walks down the aisle. He didn't even walk his own biological daughter down the aisle, and she was hurt. I'm not even going to bother asking. So I asked my brother, but I would never want Mariana to feel like she's moved out of the way, because that's a sucky feeling. So I always told her, like, even before, like, if I'm pregnant, then I go ahead and before the baby's born, I'm going to make sure I go on a little trip with just me and her and show her, like, yo, this is not going to change.
Baby
when
moon.
When I have my baby, I'm still going to make sure that me and her have our us time, and then Taylor can watch the baby and so forth. I still want her to feel like she's part of me no matter what. Like, because I wouldn't know how to parent if it wasn't for her coming in my life.
That's so important to try to juggle when you have multiple children, no matter if it's biological or not. Like, even me, all 3 of my kids, mine, and it's hard. It's not hard, but you have to know. Like, you could tell signs. Ezekiel, I don't know where started strapping himself into Adonis's baby chairs, and I'm just looking at him, and I said, "What are you doing?" Excuse me.
I know, I got a tickle in my throat too.
Yeah. And he just looked at me and smiled, and I said, "What, you miss being a baby?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, well, get out of there and come cuddle with me." And then he came and cuddled with me, and we just stayed there, laying there watching movies. So now, like, when he comes home, we'll have some just me and him time, or we'll cuddle. And Jody, as long as she could come home and be in my face and tell me everything that happened in like 20 seconds, she says it in 20 seconds, you guys. She's great. She will not bother me. She's more to herself now. But when Ezekiel was first born, dog, she almost stepped on his face.
Oh,
I'm so happy I called her.
No, she's meaner than me. Like I said, my sister was born when I was 5. my mom, we lived in a 8-building apartment. My aunt was across the hall, and my mom was down further. So I grabbed my Barney book bag, packed that shit up with my Care Bear, and I crossed the motherfucking hall.
We ain't doing
That's how
this.
them. You gonna tell me you're sick and you come with a whole baby?
Okay,
I'm still mad about it.
I have a different point of view.
Okay.
So my daughter and son, they're damn near almost 11 years apart. I feel like I was 18 when I had her, so I was a new parent. She went through plenty shit with me, and I was not the best parent. And I still don't think I'm freaking a wonderful parent, but I feel like this time around,
Don't talk about my friend like that.
I feel like this time around, I had my practice with Leah. So I feel like, not that I purposely treat her different than him, but it's like, I know more. I know how to deal with certain situations. I know, and it's like, it's hard sometimes because she does make comments like, oh, mom, you love him more, or you're always with him. And it's like, Leah, you're almost a teenager. He's a toddler now, but it's like, he needs more attention than you do, And it's like, she's up and down too, because sometimes when I do have the time to spend time with her, she doesn't want to because she's too busy on the phone with her friends. And then it's like, okay, well, so it's hard. It's super hard. And I try to take her on dates to get our nails done and our toes done, or just go out to dinner, me and her, and she loves it. And it makes me want to cry, because it's like, ugh, you were such an only child for so long. Like, I feel you. And like, she tries to deal with it to the best of her ability. And then like, her and Sterling, then he takes her out on dates, so they have their own little date nights, which is good, because like, again, me and him are stuck to Lorenzo, obviously, but I do see the difference, but I feel like I didn't know what I was doing.
Are you crying?
I am. She has me crying. Yeah.
Oh my god!
But no, I think
my friends cry. Okay.
I think it's okay. Especially when you have a big age gap between kids, like, there is gonna be a difference. No matter what, and you might not want to admit it, or you think you're not gonna act like that, because of course I'm like, my kids are gonna be raised the same. I'm gonna treat them the same. Sterling said the same thing, like, because Leah was worried. Like, she's like, oh, you guys are having a baby and whatever. So it's like, it sucks to say, but it's the reality in a sense, and we try to the best of our ability to give her as much attention as we can. And it's like, my quality time with her sometimes is just me sleeping in her room with her, and we'll watch movies, and she'll be content with that. And it's like, I remember when you used to sleep with me all the time.
And that's good to hear from your end, because that's something that Mariana says to me all the time. She's like, Mom, I'm going to be, by the time you have a kid, I'll be from the age of 11 to 13. And what am I going to do with the baby? But then one day she's like, Mom, hurry up and have an Adonis. Or I'm like, I could do as much as I can, ma'am. But it's like,
she seriously would love to kidnap my child and keep
we plan it. Yeah, we plan it. They're mad at me because I get to be in Vegas with him, and I wake up and go to sleep to him. But it's nice to hear, because, like, I have a question. Do you expect more from your daughter because she is older and knows? Or do you?
I yes do, and no. So I did, because I was like, great, she's older, she can help me with a lot more and stuff like that. And she asked me, like, Mom, when are you gonna have a baby? Whatever. And when he actually came home, I don't think she realized that, like, he's a tiny baby. He can't play with you yet. So she's kind of like, what am I supposed to do with
He's just
this?
sitting here.
Yeah. So
That was
now,
Ezekiel.
yeah. So now that he's a little bit older and he bothers her and stuff, like I wish she was like closer to him. Because she's iffy. Like she'll come play with him for a little bit and then she's like, okay, I'm done. And it's like I
He's like, I
really
don't know if
thought,
I'm your friend yet.
yeah, exactly. And he's always like trying to be up her butt. And sometimes it hurts my feelings because I was like, that's your little brother. Like, play with him more, give him more attention. But then it's like a lot of people would tell me when you have them this far apart, they're not going to be able to bond in the way that you thought they were going to,
It goes to two different ways, you know what I'm saying? Because like Kayleen has that side, and then I have my daughter who is legit 11 years older than Adonis, and she is obsessed with him.
Oh, that's good.
But it hurts my feelings though because she be pushing Ezekiel aside like that wasn't her original baby.
Okay.
Like you didn't do everything with him in the first place. So I thank God that Ezekiel loves Adonis so much he doesn't have animosity towards him. But now Ezekiel just be looking at Johnny. Well, guess what? You can't come in my room.
Yeah.
The baby's in here. Haha, you can't get him. He's in my room. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm done with y'all. Like I told them the other day, leave me out of your drama because they just do too much. And she just like, and I told her, I was like, I don't like how you flipped on your brother. She's, what do you mean? He's a baby. He needs my attention. I said, I'm his mama. You get that from me. I got him. You went from being your brother's only play person to you don't even want him anywhere near you. You get irritated and you start yelling at him.
Yeah, that's Leah.
And she just looks at me and she goes, I still love him. I just can't deal with him all the time. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
Whatever.
I'm hoping it'll change because like when she's 21, he'll be 12. I think that if I'm doing
then
the math
they're
right.
gonna she's gonna pick him up and spoil him like Daddy. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it changes around and like she wants to step in as second mom in a sense and pick him up from his games and stuff like that, So I'm not too worried, but I did expect a lot, but I can understand too that she was so, she was the only baby around, for my parents on her dad's side too. Like she was the only one. So I feel her. And a lot of people told me that, like, my parents are like, when I was pregnant, she's like, they're like, don't make her feel like, take her out still and stuff like that. And it's like, obviously, like, I'm not just gonna push her to the side, but she also likes her alone time. And I'm like, damn.
My kid loves her alone time, dude. I'd be like, I'm off. You're off of school. Let's hang out. Let's do something. But like my kid, she boring.
I ground Jody from her bedroom.
I'm about to. I did that when I took her phone away. I said, you have family time an hour a day. I don't care.
Come over here. But I have a question. So I have two different questions, basically. So like, Kayleen, how do you go about things? Like, say there is an argument between like not you, but like between Leah and Sterling, and you are on the fence of like, because you're not really a part of the situation, and they go and they bring you in and they tell you their situation and you understand both sides. Like, how do you go about it? Like, what is the process of what you do? Because I feel like I'm doing it right.
To be honest, I feel like there was a big point in mine and Sterling's relationship where I just thought, like, this isn't going to work because they would bump heads so much and then I would be put in the middle and like I would flip off like I'm not dealing with this bullshit, and it was a lot. It was a lot because it's like I wanted to take her side, but then I can understand his side a little, so it's like it was so bad. It was so bad because he would bring it to me, she would bring it to me, and then girl, it was crazy.
It's overwhelming, right?
Yes, to the point where like I would cry and I would tell him like, we need to figure this out or else it's not gonna work, and like, not that he wasn't taking it seriously, but it's like I had to sit down with him plenty of times, like, I cannot be put in the middle. You need to learn how to address her and learn how she works, because he would be loud. Like, he's naturally a loud person where I have to tell him like, tone it the fuck down, like, don't talk to me. And he's like, I'm not yelling. I was like, no, you are.
That's
But
that military shit. That being stern.
yeah. So I told him like I would have to tell him like, if you're gonna address things with her, if she's getting grounded or whatever the case is, like, you need to talk to her a certain, not in a sense be timid and go easy on her, but there's a certain way to address your child, I feel like. So he really did struggle with that, and it was just putting a wedge in our relationship, but we figured it out. Like, we sat down, all three of us, and yeah, we had to lay down the rules. Like, Leah thought she could just brush him off like every time he would tell her something, and it's like, no, he's your parent too. He's here with you 24/7. He takes you to practice, he takes you to school, he does everything more than at a point your biological dad does, so he deserves the same respect you would give me, and then I had to tell him like, you guys need to learn how to deal with the situation, just you two. And I feel like it's gotten better, but I think where they like really bump heads is like, she tries to talk over him and interrupt him, where he looks at it as super disrespectful and he just wants to ground her for a whole month. And it's like, I do in a sense still have to step in, not as much as before. I do have to step in and be like, and tell Leah to go to her room, get your shit together, and I have to tell him like, just step away and let's figure out what we're gonna do then, and then you can go address her, if she's gonna be grounded for the weekend, whatever it is. But it's like, I do still in a sense need to step in, because sometimes I feel like it's unfair. Sometimes I'd be like, I'll beat her ass for you, because he will never touch her and hasn't touched her or anything. But I don't know. I feel like it's been a struggle for almost 4 years now, and it's gotten better, but I feel like it'll always be a struggle maybe with her, just because she's older and like she thinks that like she does think that she can walk all over him and I'll come and save her, and it's like, no, like I had to change my parenting style to be able to co-parent with him, basically. So I had to get more stern. Like, if he said this, then this is what's gonna go. Because if not, she thinks that she can get away with things. And that is how it was for a little bit, because I didn't have a stable relationship prior to him. So I didn't know how to parent. I didn't know, so it's like, it was different for me too. Like, knowing that he's here to stay, we're married, we're getting married, we have a baby together, you do a lot for her. So it's like, okay, now I gotta go about this a different way. Let's, so if for both of us, like, it's something new all the time. But I know communication definitely between the both of us has helped them get through certain situations. And if I'm randomly brought in, like, I can sit down with him, talk to him, we'll address it with her later,
I like that. I like how you guys all sat down. Me and Ricky have done that with Johnny. We've all sat down together and letting her know we're on the same page. And I think that's a good idea to do that with your children, because not saying you have somebody in her ear saying anything, but there is kids, like my daughter for a good minute had someone in her ear telling her to act a certain way towards her dad, and it's hard, and you have to let that your child know, like, this is a united front here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're a team. And at the end of the day, you're gonna leave me, baby. And guess who's still gonna be right here next to me? This man.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have a respect, and he's gonna respect you as well. But you are going to respect him as your parent and the adult
Yeah.
that he is. You know what I'm saying? Because these kids, man, they're like Jotty for a good minute. She just thinks she could say anything to anybody and just
Mhm.
it's my ADHD. I didn't take my meds today. No, girl, bye. Girl, bye.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
her using that.
Girl. And it's giving attention seeking. Okay.
Girl.
I'm gonna need you to stop.
Leah's excuse now when she has a little stank ass attitude is like, and I go to address it with her. She's like, I'm not in the mood right now. I'm having a bad day. And it's like,
Oh,
I want to be like, I don't give a shit. But I'm just like, she's going through puberty. Let me give her a minute.
Mine says, okay, mom, before I even finish my sentence. And I'm like, let me fucking talk. And then she's like, well, I don't know why I did that. I don't understand. I said, well, you do understand. You do get it. Like, chill out.
You do know why you did what you did.
But like from Mariah's question, as like a bonus mom, that's good that I got to hear where you came from, because I would not discipline Mariana unless Taylor is in the room.
Okay.
Because I don't want, like, I went through some BS before of they listen to, like, yeah, listen to your kid, but sometimes your kid is not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm just like, no, you're not going to say that I did this or said this without your parent being in the middle. Because that happened to me once before. And everybody was just like, why would you hit him? And I'm like, what? I would never. Like, I don't even hit my own blood. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's another story. But yeah, like, I was just like, when I found the freaking stuff, like, I found something that I didn't like on her phone. And I was so pissed. That's the first time I snatched her phone. I said, let's go. Went straight to the living room and I said, I told Taylor, you listen to me. And if I'm wrong, you tell me after I'm done saying what I have to fucking say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said how I needed to say it. And then Mariana just stood quiet because she didn't know what was going on, because I had proof of everything. And then Taylor was like, okay, you said what you said. You each go to your own room and I'll talk to you guys separately.
Yeah.
And then she told me, like, do you tell me your side? Then she'll go to the room. You tell me your side. No excuses. Just tell me what happened word from word and I will figure it out at the end. Then we sit all together and we're like, okay, so mom was right. This and that. So what's going to happen now? And I said, well, I feel she doesn't need an allowance or a phone. And her door needs to stay open from 3 to 9 every single day. As long as she's in the house before she's going to bed, she's opening that door. And that was there for a while. Like, the door still thing is still one of my biggest things. I will open that door. Nope. You lost that privacy. The door stays open.
Yeah.
Same. I got TikTok famous for taking the door off.
I know.
I was like, God damn, let me change my parenting right now.
I'll play. You want to slam doors and break them? Okay, well then you don't need a door.
We're still arguing with people, okay? I will argue every day with this girl.
Dude, it was wild. But yeah, well, my question for you, Nikki, because like you're on the opposite end. You are the bonus parent. Now, my thing is you kind of answered it. Like, are you open to being told you're doing too much? Because I know there's a lot of bonus parents who feel like, you know, they know all, and they're like, I love that you're taking the time to get to know her.
Because I was that bonus parent. When I first came around, I'm like, no, you respected me, and that's how it is. Especially when we started living together. I'm like, you don't got privacy, honey. Like, you don't pay no bills here. Like, you know, like stuff like that. And Taylor did help me a lot. Like, one of our biggest arguments, which was, I posted on Snapchat, I was like, I officially became I hate my stepmom club, you know? And
I think I seen that.
Yeah, and it was just
like, I called you.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Like, she said some really hurtful things, and I was just trying to be petty too. And then she was like, well, I'm trying to leave and move it so-and-so. Then I'm going to call her right now to come pick you up. How about them apples? Like, and
How
Taylor
about
was like,
that?
she's just upset right now. And I said, I'm upset too. Shit, I'm pissed. I'm livid.
Hey, don't take offense because let me tell you, Jody has told me so many times, I'd rather live with my nanny than you. Go ahead, girl, live with her and all them other children that in her house. Let's see you
Yeah.
have your own bedroom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So like I am open to being told that I am wrong, but not like, I guess more privately. Like,
Okay.
don't do it in front of the kid because then they'll think that it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
push me aside, like, okay, listen, I think you yelled a little bit too rough for this one, or you didn't listen to her because that was one thing I'd be like, shut up, I'm not done talking. Like, no, I'm not done talking. And she's trying to explain herself. So then now, like, I try to just like don't think as it as she's disrespecting me, like Sterling. You know, I grew up kind of in that same mindset that if you talk back to an adult, you're disrespecting them. So that's what I always thought too, like, yo, chill out. And then like you, Taylor, was like, babe, sometimes she just has to explain herself. And maybe that's just the time that she remembers on why she did it. And if you don't let her talk it, she's going to forget about it again because she's trying to worry about the other questions. Because I do ask 101 questions before I get the answer.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I am open in a private event. Like, just
Makes
me and you
sense.
got to be in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. I'm big on you don't do like I'll look at Ricky and I'll stop a conversation. We can have this over there. You want to go this way? If not, this conversation needs to end now because our kids don't need to know not one lick of an argument we have. We messed up so much in the beginning with Jody and Ezekiel. We argued a lot in front of them. To where my son would bring up the arguments.
Yeah.
And like kind of throw them in like our faces, like, oh, mommy, you said you were gonna take me somewhere and you got so mad at daddy. You guys argued and you left me with daddy at the house. Like that broke my heart. I'm like, you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like my baby. I came
And that's
right
something that
back.
I've never wanted to do is argue in front of the kids.
Yeah.
Like I've never dated anybody that had a kid anyways. But in the beginning of my past relationship, she was with somebody who had a kid and they were trying to keep the kid in the situationship, whatever the hell it was. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to give no parts of that or whatever. But this time it's a little bit more because this is legit my partner's kid. And I have to accept not owning them. And I say this to everybody. I loved Mariana before I loved Taylor. I will forever tell everybody this. I loved my kid before I loved her mother. Just saying,
That's how
like,
it should be.
Yeah, so like I wanted to make sure that our bond stayed good but still trustworthy. And that I didn't want her to ever think that because me and her mom argued that she'd be the reason why I left or anything like that. Because I guess her ex-wife used to do that to them and be like, oh, well, then you and Mariana got to go. Or, you know, this, or, oh, it's Mariana's fault that we are fighting or this and that. And I'm just like, no, like that happened the first time and that broke my heart. Like the first time me and Taylor even argued when we lived together, I didn't know what to do. I was getting triggered because my past relationship was always just like, we're going in, and that's how it goes. And I'm like, there's a whole kid involved. Like, I'm just gonna walk out, smoke me a blunt, go to the car, go for a drive. I live by the lake, so let me just drive. And then I got the text message. She was like, I'm so sorry I caused you guys to fight. I don't want you to leave me. And then I'm like, what? What happened? So I came back and I thought my girl was like, oh, you made her leave and this and that. She's like, no, that's not what happened at all. And then she's like, no, it's just that's what my ex-mom used to do, or my ex-stepmom used to do. I'm like, so I make a big deal not to argue in front of kids.
Yeah.
She knows we argue because she sees my face. When I'm pissed, she'll be like, ooh, and she knows to walk out the room.
See, I think that's important too, not to do it in front of them. Obviously, because you don't want to put them through that and involve them in stuff. But my biggest thing is because let's say I'm arguing with Sterling and it looks like, you know, I'm super pissed at him. I don't want her to hear that and think like, oh, my mom's taking my side and I don't got to listen to him because she's mad at him too, you know. So it's like, I don't like, and if he tries to argue with me, I'm like, nope, we will do this later.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. That's a big thing. When it comes to blended families, man, there's so many different ways you have to go about things, and you have to be open to change. You
Yeah.
really do. If you're willing to be in a relationship with someone who has a child, or if you're in a relationship and you have a child from a previous relationship, you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to understand your kid is going to be confused,
Hmm.
and you have to work around their feelings because they're not going to easily adapt the way you do.
Right.
It's And even then it's hard for you to adapt, as Nikki has been saying. She's still learning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So don't ever feel like what you're doing and the way you're going about things are wrong. And I feel like, if anything, there's so many people nowadays that have blended families. It's
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing to see someone take in a child that's not theirs and love them genuinely as if they are theirs. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's pretty awesome. We're we're all some good mamas, and we got some good
Yeah.
partners. And
We
you
try.
know, I'm so proud of you, Nikki, because you jumped into that mama role and you've been killing it, girl. So
Take, yeah. It's not
if you
easy,
haven't
but
been told that they hate you or you're not a good mama, then you're not a good mom, because you
well, you
obviously
guys, this is my first Mother's Day.
Oh my god!
I'm
We have to make
excited
sure.
for you.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I
I
told
said,
Ricky, yeah, every week I'm like, hey, Mother's Day is coming. You work with a lot of females. You should ask them what's there to do around here for Mother's Day.
Be with me, like, I know May is such a busy month for us. Like, Leah's birthday is coming up in May.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Mother's Day, my graduation. There's just so much. So I'm like, not expecting a lot, but I'm like, it's okay because we're trying to save up money for a honeymoon here. So I was like,
yeah.
I'm okay
No,
letting this year.
I'm in a different one. I said if I don't walk out with the mom necklace that goes
Yeah.
about this one, we having problems.
I
I
want one.
I love it. Oh my god.
was like, I
Yeah,
got room for 3 more necklaces. Which one's gonna be next?
for sure. Yeah, Mother's Day is exciting, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have planned for your guys, or whatever happens for your Mother's Day, because I think that'd be pretty dope. I hope Ricky does something. I want a massage.
I already know what I want.
I want a massage. I mean, whether he gives it to me or he gets me into a masseuse, that's
Either
more
Whichever
way, you
one.
want
massage.
it.
Either way, some Starbucks, a massage, and let me watch my TV uninterrupted. Don't ask me to watch one of your shows.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, so I am really excited to share with you guys that we finally have a story that someone would love to share with us. And this person would like to remain anonymous until a further date. But our next episode is our first story, and we're going to dip into
Woo.
the trials and tribulations that come along with co-parenting with a very unpleasant co-parenter.
I'm excited because I have a lot of opinions.
I'm
Very
excited
well.
to hear because I don't got to deal with co-parenting, but I want to hear what y'all got to do. I
Yeah.
know I'm up.
Yes. So
The only thing on
stay
me bisexual
tuned.
are my hands.
They're ready to eat for everybody, baby. But yeah, so I'm excited. Next episode will be about the story and co-parenting, all that comes with that. So we're
Ew.
excited to do that. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and turn on that notification so you know when the new episode drops.
Yeah.
And stay tuned to all of the episodes that we have. We have so much in store for you guys. Don't be shy. Leave comments below. Let us know what you would like to hear us talk about. And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
There for the ride or there for the clout. Put up a fight or down for the count. So get familiar. You're the water, it don't matter the route. We keep it moving, there's no